Welcome to Impact Headlines. US to hold first policy rate meeting for 2025. Eurozone PMI expands. Japan interest rates rise to a 17-year high. The US Federal Reserve is expected to pause on its interest rate cut in its first policy meeting for 2025 tomorrow. This comes following Trump's inauguration and market expectation that an interest rate cut may not be necessary given the economy's strong position. Policymakers anticipate only around 2 rate cuts this year, while inflation is expected to be at 2.5%. This picture, however, could change greatly based on how Trump's tariff policies play out in the year. Impact on Sri Lanka. The United States is Sri Lanka's largest export market. In the first 11 months of 2024, exports to the United States rose to $2.65 billion, a 6.2% rise from a year earlier. However, potential changes in the US economic policies, such as higher tariffs and strained supply chains, could impact US consumer spending, affecting Sri Lanka's export growth and, in turn, its balance of payments. Eurozone Composite PMI rose to 50.2 in January from 49.6 in December. This was the first time since August 2024 that the PMI went into growth from contraction. Much of the growth came from a robust service sector, while manufacturing improved at a slower pace. This week, the ECB is also expected to cut rates by 25 basis points in a bid to stimulate demand. Although inflation remains low, Trump's proposed 10% tariff on Eurozone exports could reverse gains from interest rate cuts. Impact on Sri Lanka. The Eurozone is a key market for both Sri Lankan exports and tourism. During the first 11 months of 2024, exports to the European Union reached $2.5 billion, marginally higher than the same period last year. The Eurozone's sluggish growth affects Sri Lanka's export earnings and European tourist inflows. Japan's inflation in December rose to a 16-month high of 3%, aligning with the Bank of Japan's expectations. The rise in inflation preceded the third interest rate hike of 0.5%, a 17-year high, as it aims to bring the inflation down to 2%. Meanwhile, the Japanese yen also weakened severely as investors moved funds to the US, where interest rates remain higher. This weakness has helped boost exports while making imports more costly. Impact on Sri Lanka. A strong Japanese economy will have a positive influence on Sri Lanka, as Japan is a critical partner for foreign direct investments. Last year, the Japanese International Cooperation Agency agreed to resume all previously suspended projects in Sri Lanka. Additionally, a weaker yen could also make Japanese automobiles more affordable for Sri Lankans. And that's the wrap for this week. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to stay updated on the latest developments in Sri Lanka.